Yo,
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 151.
151.
We made
Holy
it.
crap.
We're
Well,
alive.
you almost didn't make it.
I almost did make it, man. That was
Woo.
woo, baby. It wasn't. People think that it was like a tap out to pain. It was not a tap out to pain. I was legitimately fearing for life.
Yeah, I think you were going in shock.
I was yeah, man. I think I had some bad reactions to the whatever chemical it's called that.
I think you're just reacting to the heat, the actual heat. I think
I don't
your
know.
body's going in shock because that's the thing.
Yeah, my body was like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, man. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't step it up to try to do 5. And
Me too.
no part of me is like, there is no part of me that's like at all regretful that I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, I shouldn't have done 4, honestly.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh shit. That was crazy, man. That was a trip. It was super cringeworthy. We went back and watched the episode. And
I mean, people liked it.
yeah,
they like watching us be in pain, and they like watching you stroke out.
Act like idiots, yeah. Yeah, they're like, yo, do 5. My wife was the worst of all, man. She was like, Jesus, man. We still have to have a long, deep conversation about that.
I guess. Woo.
So
relentless too. Even when you called her afterwards, and she was all
yeah,
like, bro.
she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, are you serious? Did you not see? Like, I couldn't.
Know.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think translated well, Fluff, was you and I sitting in the same room. You could see that I wasn't able to pick that cup up.
That was the scariest part. Yeah.
And I don't think that translated through on stream, but like I was trying to pick a cup up and I didn't have any dexterity. I couldn't hold a cup like this.
He's like,
I was literally
like this
holding the cup. I was holding the cup like this, like between my hands. And then it had a flip top like this. And I literally didn't have the dexterity in my hands to open the top to drink the cup. And for a second, I thought I was going to have Fluff fucking feed me the milk like a baby.
I thought I was going to too. Because I was like, do I need to get you the milk? And you're like, I don't know.
I couldn't open it. I was trying and I couldn't. My hands just wouldn't work. That was scary, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, dude. Like this better go away. So.
And then, some insight. So we finished the podcast. Mm-hmm. We were like, we thought we were going to stream afterwards. And we're like, no, we're both like dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go downstairs and I don't feel good at all. I feel awful. And I go upstairs for a minute and I didn't like feel like I needed to like use the bathroom or anything like that. But I had this feeling where I could not, no matter what I did, like I felt like there was a position I could be in that I would be comfortable in, but I couldn't. And I was just like moving all over the place and sweating bullets, like just torrential downpour sweat, and it just so much stomach pain, like so much worse than the actual like nut 5. Like I was just sitting there and it was tons of pain. The only thing that made me feel kind of better was spitting, because my like saliva was like, you know, gasoline. So I was just like sitting there spitting, and then I came back down and like I felt okay again. And as me and Pete are watching the podcast, it happens again. And then like 10, 15 minutes later it happens again. Like I just had like 3 aftershocks that were like, I mean, honestly, like top 5 pain I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, you were gone for a minute. Like you went upstairs and I'm watching the pod, and then I'm like, dude, he's been gone for a minute. I'm like, and then I yell through the house, I'm like, yo, you okay? You're like, no, and you responded back, no. That's all you said was no. And so I'm like, fuck, well, do I need to call somebody? And I don't remember what you said, honestly. I think you said no again, but yeah. But I'm just man. You okay? And you're like, no. I'm just like, fuck. So
wow.
Yeah, it was
ready to do it again?
Yeah. Yeah. That you know what's funny is I ate some spicy food yesterday though.
Yeah.
And it was nothing, dude. It was like before I probably would have been like, ooh, this has got a little kick to it. But now I'm just like
now you're learned about
like you have like know what height is now reachable, and you're just like, no, this isn't this isn't spicy. I can still hear my mouth still works. So
Yeah. I still have these your round 5 in my trash can right here.
Do you? Oh man.
I can ship it to you if you want to.
I wonder if you just went straight to 5, how it would do. I wonder if the ramp in 1 through 4 makes it.
I feel like it made it worse, right? Like if you just
had to
went to 5.
It had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to have.
But yeah, the after.
So yeah, so people were telling me like, oh man, I think I should do that, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't. Like, I really don't think. I feel like that. I don't feel like you should be able to go to Amazon and buy that. I really don't. I think like there needs to be like some kind of I don't know, man. That just felt dangerous to me. I'm like, dude, I bought something that pretty much I felt like was gonna kill me on Amazon for like $20. Here.
I get it. But now I feel like I'm sweating even more than last week because PChild blew my mind before the podcast. I've got like ice on my air conditioner line, so I'm not getting any air right now. I was like, why is it so fucking hot? I mean, it's hot in Kansas City and St. Louis right now. It's like, what was it, 89 degrees today or something like that?
Yeah, it was like somewhere. It was humid as hell too. So,
but man, it's more hot than it's ever been up here. But apparently, I've frozen my line or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Hopefully they can get that fixed because you're gonna.
Well, I leave tomorrow morning, so peace.
Oh yeah, for a week, right? That's right. This is the last pod for
2 weeks.
What, 2 weeks? No pods for 2 weeks, guys.
At least, yeah. I might just stay. 2 weeks. Who knows? But
he may never come back.
No, I will come back for sure because I still have a house and a mortgage. But
151 is the final episode, guys. Fucking rip Fluff. I never heard from him ever again.
Yep. That's when we lost him.
Yeah, it'll be like your final hurrahs. People will still for years ask me, "Yo, what happened to Fluff?" And I'll have to be like, "Fuck, I don't know. I'm not his babysitter." Yeah. So let's jump into. Did we even ask a question last week? I don't know. You know what? I remember 0 of the schedule. All I remember is dying to Death Nut. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything we talked about. Anything you said went in one ear, out the other. I have no idea.
Yeah. This thing's not working. Okay. Yeah. So it sucks too because we actually had some pretty juicy topics on the schedule for last week, and it was so impossible to articulate any of them.
I couldn't even speak. So
yeah. So the question we asked last week was, how do you feel about Blizzard going after the D2 resurrected hackers? Option 1, hell yeah, get them. And option 2, why though? It looks like about 69% of the vote said get them.
Get them, boys.
Which, yeah, I mean, like, how do you feel about this? So first of all, if you guys didn't know, because we couldn't articulate last week, Blizzard is sending like these cease and desist letters to these, repeat offenders, basically of the hacking that's happening. And like, we've seen all these videos of like Necromancer and the Druid forms and like stuff that obviously wasn't in the closed alpha or beta, whatever it was.
I actually didn't watch them. I know it's crazy, but I wanted to save it for the beta. I really did. I thought about it, and I'm like, people linked it to me. I got so many DMs of people like, yo, did you see the Necro? Check it out. Here's a link. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait, man. I'm gonna wait till they officially announce it somehow, so I get to see what a good form of it, a good version.
Yeah, I mean, I caved and watched some Necro stuff, but I definitely haven't seen like all the Druid, because I don't care as much about that stuff. But
right,
yeah, it was interesting though. But yeah, I think it's interesting that they're going after some of these guys. I wonder, to what extent it's effective, or what they could really press them with.
I hope it gives them some footing for botters and cheaters in games moving forward. I hope it's a stance where it's like, if you fuck around with us, we're gonna come at you. If we can figure out who you are, we're gonna come get you. You know what I mean? Because I would love to see them start going after the D3 bots.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Honestly, to me, it kind of sets a precedent of D2's kind of gonna like get crazy. And there's probably not gonna be a lot they're gonna be able to do or want to do about it, is what it kind of tells me. But Because when you like, I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, if you like kind of go down the route of like, okay, legal action, it's like, man, we don't know what to do against these guys other than to like threaten them, right? Because we can't stop them like via software or whatever. Which I'm
Yeah, I
not
think
saying
all
it to
they
be
could do
toxic,
is
but
just try to sue him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But what else could you do? I mean, that's really all you could do is just try to sue him.
yeah,
An
but
average Joe that's working out of his house and hacking this shit doesn't have the financial backing to fight Blizzard in
sure,
court. I would think that would be enough,
right.
scare them enough, but they could still
Yeah, you pull out one
find
weed
other,
though, and 10 more
yeah,
pop up.
10 more pop up, and they'll figure out other ways to source it and
Yep,
distribute. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think it's cool when you see like Bungie and Riot and Blizzard now going at the companies that make cheats and hacks and stuff. I think it's cool. Like this isn't going after cheaters, so to say, but I think this could be a opened window to maybe potentially do that in the
sure.
future for D4 hackers and
Yeah,
cheaters.
I think it's
So
interesting that like they go after these D2 hackers, but like they never gone after like
yeah,
the big D3 names, like the two things that are awful
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
everyone knows
yeah.
about.
Like one of and yeah, and they're so like everybody talks about it.
Yeah,
It's not like they don't know about it,
right.
And it's like one guy.
Go
Like get
after
him.
them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like shut it down, dude.
Go get them.
And I'm sure more will pop up, but eventually people are going to be like, "Fuck, this isn't worth my time. It's not worth my time to fight Blizzard. It's not worth my time to sit there and make this thing." So,
Yeah,
um, I'm all about an even playing field. Like that's fine if I get my ass kicked in a game. That's totally fine. As long as it was even. If this person was literally outskilled me or outgeared me or whatever the case is, if they earned it legitimately through game mechanics, then cool, man. Like I'll get better. I'll work harder. But when people cheat to get stuff, I don't like it. So
yeah,
it feels bad. But on the same note, man, Blizzard's got a lot to protect with D2. I think there's a lot of hype behind it. So they're gonna, these guys are releasing stuff, and I guess they were letting people play that didn't get alpha access, and it was it's kind of shitty.
yeah. True, not wrong.
And it makes you somebody that got alpha access had to have given it out in the first place. Like it's all because how could they have gotten it? So one of the guys that was like, "Yo, man, we're gonna hook you up with some alpha," was like, "Okay, fuck you. I'm gonna give it to the world."
Yeah, I think it was Riker. Yeah.
Damn it, Riker.
But yeah. So again, 70% of votes says hell yeah, get him. 30% it's like yeah, we don't care, which is interesting. Because this is kind of more like a Diablo 2 crowd probably vote, I would think. So I wonder what, like, yeah, as a whole, like the D2 modding community kind of like carries the game at this point, right? Like, because, obviously Blizzard hasn't touched Diablo 2 in ages.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe the hackers are the guys that help the game, or who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to
say. And then the new meta podcast for next week is which classes deserve to get the juice in the upcoming D3 PTR.
Limited poll options. We have to lump some together.
Yeah. We have to lump them by main stat.
Main stat.
+5 main stat. Put that out there. Let you guys
is Witch
vote.
Doctor, why is Witch Doctor even on there?
It is an intelligence class. I mean, you have to have 0 intelligence to actually play the class, but
nobody cares about Witch Doctor.
Agreed.
Oh, wait, sorry. So,
but
you know what's funny? I joke a lot about Witch Doctor. Okay. I had somebody tell me that they hung out and streamed for a long time and would never talk because I made fun of Witch Doctor so much. They were afraid to say that they played Witch Doctor.
Really? Like legitimately?
Yeah, like legitimately. And I'm like, I'm just kidding, guys. We're kidding, right? I mean, we're not really, but we're kind of kidding. Like, if you like them, it's okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's fine. It's the tree of trust. The stream.
Yeah.
But yeah. So on that note, is Filthy Rich posted on the D3 forums 5 days ago, working on the patch notes and have something to share soon. So we should be getting D3 PTR patch notes soon. I assume within the next couple of weeks, of course, because I'll be gone.
Announcement of an announcement?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. I think it's great because he was just replying to like someone's like, "Yo, where the hell are these guys?" Yeah.
And everybody sees it though, like, "Oh shit!" It's an announcement of an announcement. No, it is. It's cool, man. I hope that we'll have some juice.
Yeah.
Some juice soon. Hopefully, it's good juice.
Any predictions? What were you gonna throw out there? Like, what's gonna happen Do you think they're going to bring back seasonal themes? Do you think that certain classes are going to get more juice than others? Like, what do you think is going to go down?
So my guess is 2 classes will get rebalanced because that seems to be the play. It's always 2 classes get juice.
Yeah.
You know? And I think do I want to say the word backlash? I will say the word backlash, but that may not be totally appropriate. But the backlash from not having a seasonal theme, even though we got juice, it wasn't seasonal only. And I think that they're going to go hard on the seasonal theme. Is my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
they'll just make whatever they change the seasonal theme instead of because people. Yeah. Anyways, I could go down that whole road again.
Yeah. It was crazy that people were upset that there wasn't a seasonal theme this season because there was so much juice, but they could have just made it a seasonal theme and people would have been happy to not give it to non-season, which is fucking crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
I get it.
But
we get it.
I think that they'll do the seasonal theme.
Yeah, I think they probably will too. I think yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of obviously I think that the 2 classes is a safe bet. I think that they are maybe more inclined to give just a little juice to Necro like almost every time because it's the only thing that like nets them any cash probably at this point.
That's your bias kicking in, dude.
Yeah,
you're so biased.
So we're gonna get a pestilence buff. Mark my words. So.
Okay, all right.
And then for seasonal theme, what do you reckon that they could do at this point? I'd love to see the corruption, the thing that we've been pushing and peddling for months and months and months.
Yeah, that would be dope. I don't think it'll be that big. I like for some reason, I just feel like it won't be that big. I don't know, man. They're in a weird spot. So for classes, in my opinion, I think the classes that need juice are Witch Doctor and Monk. I feel like those 2 classes just need the juice. Witch Doctor especially. Is it gonna get it? I don't know. It doesn't make sense why they nerf. I still don't even have an understanding of how they nerfed Mundinugos last season, and Witch Doctor doesn't have any other sets that are even competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess Monk is just kind of in the rotation at this point. It seems like it's been a while since they've had some. So, but for seasonal
check in the leaderboard real quick just to see who's like really behind.
I don't. If they give power, like the game's already so inflated, man. Like for a seasonal theme, if they give more power, it's like fuck, dude. Like we're already seeing people push 150s in the first weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what they.
So I'm on seasonal Libra, season 23 current. So a Necro has a 1256 150. A Barb is only at 144. Crusader is 148. DH is 140. Monk is 141. Witch Doctor is 143. And Wizard's 147. So on paper,
Monk's the lowest, or DH is the lowest.
DH is lowest, yeah.
Yeah, DH got a little over nerfed, I think, with the
God.
The God DH. I mean, God DH is so universal though. It's so good for 16s. It's so good for speed GRs. It's just good. They just clipped it in the high end, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, I still think DH is in a great spot. I don't think they mess with it.
I'd be curious to do a breakdown of where all the sets are. Maybe we'll do that
the only 150 pod. Is that what we got?
Yeah, that's correct. Which is fine.
Yeah. So Necro Nurse.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Necro Nurse Inc. Got it. What's Crusader at?
God, 128 with the new Necro set. Crusader 148.
It's pretty good. It's pretty juice.
What's the 150 of Necro anyways? Bone Spear.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I think it'll be I think it's got to be power enticing seasonal theme to get people to play.
Yeah, you know, I think it's fascinating now that we have these class leaderboards and the breakdown of the sets. you would think that, oh, okay, so like a Bone Spear is
Find the shittiest
150.
set. Yeah.
Okay, Rasmus 128. So maybe we'll start seeing like very clear buffs. You would think, right? Because now we have a very decisive way of seeing what's underperforming. But I guess we'll have to see how that plays out.
How do you think we're ever going to get that big balance patch again? Like a season 13 swooping, like, boom.
I'd be really upset
boys.
if by the end of D3's life that like all sets for every class were not within like a few GRs of each other.
What if they just make everything 150 viable at the end? What if they're just like, everything's super juice, here you go. And then like the greater rifts cap at 150, so everything can do 150s.
I don't know.
Is that a bad play? It feels like it's a bad play, but maybe if they can't get it balanced, maybe that's not. Maybe that's the play.
Yeah, but then you're still gonna have like, okay, well, Bone Spear can do a 150 in like 4 minutes, and
yeah, true.
Rathma can only do it in 14 minutes or something. So there's still gonna be like a meta within the meta.
Well, there will always be a meta within the meta.
Sure.
But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I hope soon. I hope soon that we get in the next like season. What is it? Is this season 23? So I hope for 25, 26 we get a really big, like super juicy balance patch, because it's been a while, man. They did a big one in 13. Like shit, it's been almost 13 since then. So, but yeah,
I agree. I would love to see a big balance patch, and I'd love to see just a little bit of end game juice added, a little bit like corruption or something cool. I definitely like this season in the sense that the seasonal theme, quote unquote, was like it was a pretty big change to the game. Spice things up a bit, especially for solo. So hopefully we see some like permanent stuff.
SSF in season 25, 26.
That'd be insane.
Would it? An official SSF? You think that would? How hyped do you think that would be? You think
it'd be pretty damn hype? Yeah.
You think so?
I think a lot of people will come back and give that a shot.
I do too. I wonder if it'd have any staying power though.
Who knows at this point?
Right. Like, okay, 3 weeks in, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good.
But in other news, this is really interesting, and I think there's a subtext to this that's even more interesting, right? So, Diablo 2 ladder resets, June 11th. As we embark on our quote final ladder reset of Diablo 2 before Diablo 2 Resurrected launches worldwide, we expect this ladder reset to occur afternoon of June 11th specific time. Please note we will continue having ladder resets for Diablo 2 Classic in the future. Diablo 2 Resurrected will be a separate cadence for ladder resets, and we'll have more information on that as we get closer to the launch. See you in Sanctuary. So obviously this is interesting if you still play Diablo, Mr. Llama. And other than that, like, okay, so I don't know how often a ladder reset happens. I assume it's every few months, but I have no idea.
I think it's like 6, but I could be totally wrong on that. So,
but at least that gives us our, that gives us our window, right? It gives us our window of when D2.
I mean, it's still supposed to be this year, and then we got 6 months left in the year. So let's see, D2.
How often do D2 ladder resets?
I think there was a wiki that. So there was one December 4th.
Every 6 months.
Every 6, yep. So the last one was December 4th. So 6 months is the rest of the year. So it's still on schedule, I guess. Is what
maybe it's not as telling as I thought it was going to be. So I assumed it'd be 3 months.
maybe it's still on point for the 21 launch. Which honestly, I feel like at this point that's good. There's a segment I'll hit later in the podcast schedule where I have a list of every video game that was delayed in 21, and it is insane. It is insane just to hear the sheer volume of games that have just been pushed back, because of quote unquote pandemic and other stuff, So, but yeah, if we hit 21 and D2, I'll be happy. Like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you think like we haven't? I still think it's not going to be that soon because we still haven't had a public beta yet. And they're not gonna. I wouldn't think they're gonna public beta and then be like, "Oh, we're releasing 3 weeks later." You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if they're trying to step on PoE's toes, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I think that might be.
I mean, they owe them a little bit of fuckery.
They do kind of. Yeah.
PoE has definitely done it to Diablo a couple times. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna have your season launch this date? Oh, that's a great league start." Yeah, it'd be good, man. You think PoE would reschedule if Diablo 2 came out? Because they rescheduled for Cyberpunk. I mean, Cyberpunk's next level hype, but
Right.
D2R is like, if you're in an ARPG market, like that's gotta be on your radar.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think there's any.
gotta be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
I don't know.
speaking of that, so Path of Exile announced an announcement. So
I love this announcement meta.
I agree. With development 3.15 underway, we want to give you an idea of when expected launch time for Path of Exile's next expansion. We're expecting it to be mid-July, with ultimatum ending 5 days before its release. So juicy stuff coming. Again,
You can be back in time for that.
Oh yeah. I wonder if I'll be able to game at that point. I mean, so I finally got a date for my surgery.
You got a date? Oh,
Finally.
a surgery date. I thought you meant like a date.
No.
Like you went on a date. I was like, good, congrats, man. What's her name?
August 18th is when I can finally get it done.
18th?
Mm-hmm. And
what day is that?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday? Good. It's right after the pod.
Yep.
So we'll have a pod and then, I
can recover. But apparently the recovery time's not that bad from what I'm told. It's, I can be like typing again within a few days.
What about serious gaming?
Serious gaming, probably not for a bit. And then they said that like I can go back to working out, but like only like maybe like 10 pounds, kind of stuff. And then I can only do like 10 more pounds like every month, but like don't do too much is basically what they said. So I'm gonna be all cut up from all the summer exercising and then get surgery and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that would suck to not even be able to game for real.
Yeah. I mean, it does. It freaking does. It's driving me crazy, man. Which is why, we're just going to get out and do stuff. We're going to go travel a bit and whatnot because God knows I can't stream. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that was kind of it in the realm of ARPG news for this week.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the video game delays?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's hit it up. So we had, let's see here. Where did I put the window? So here's a list of all of the game delays, and I'm just gonna read through it really quick because it's a few. So Outriders was delayed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Pragmata was delayed. Elite Dangerous Odyssey was delayed. Hogwarts Legacy, Cyberpunk 2077, and the DLC that they're putting out. Riders Republic, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Returnal, Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake, New World, Vampire Masquerade, Gran Turismo 7, Need for Speed, Guilty Gear, Borderlands 3 Director's Cut, Gotham Knights, Humankind, Back 4 Blood 4, Lego Star Wars, Deathloop, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the expansion Wrath of the Druids, Resident Evil Reverse, Five Nights at Freddy's, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, the Switch and Xbox versions, Ghost Warriors, Skull and Bones. I mean, this just keeps going. I can just keep like Axiom Verge 2, God of War 2. Like there's just so many games that it's fucking insane. But when you sit here and look at this list, man, there are some AAA titles. You had Cyberpunk on there. You had Assassin's Creed. You had Resident Evil titles. God of War 2, for example. Like these are huge. Gotham Knights was on the list. Did I say that one? I mean, it's crazy, man. So the fact that I don't know, I don't know, are these developers putting out games and promising like unrealistic release dates just for hype, and then they're like, "Fuck it, we can just delay it."
I mean, I think being in the software engineering field, like a date always gets set by like producers and product managers, and stuff just happens. Like stuff pops up, and then stuff just gets pushed back. It just happens, and then. With games, I'm sure like the pressure to get the product out is even higher because like you set that precedence like publicly. Like for me, like we just have like software that we promise, and there's not necessarily a specific date or like a website that's going to launch that nobody knows about. So it's not a big deal if it gets delayed or whatever. But for games, like people are expecting that date.
That's what I said. I don't know if we talked about it on another podcast. We probably have, but when the Burning Crusade pre-patch got delayed by almost a day, it was like 12 or 16 hours. I don't remember. It was super delayed. But the pressure that was on that team, like it's not like hundreds of guys launching that. It's like a handful of really smart guys. There's probably like 10, 15 of them that are sitting there launching that. I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine having a software that you're trying to launch, you have an errors, you're trying to fix it, and then you got millions of people like tweeting at you and fucking hounding you, and then you probably have CEOs and other managers calling like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what's going on, dudes? Like, then you got your marketing guys like calling like, yo, what are we gonna like? Have you seen the internet? Like, what are we telling these people? And at the same time, you're like, I don't fucking know what's wrong. Like, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be insane amounts of pressure that you know, I'm glad it's not me.
So. I definitely had to deal with like all of those besides the like, you know, thousands of people, right? Like that are hounding on Twitter or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So adding that in would be even crazier. Sure.
Yeah, I've definitely had launches and things that didn't go properly. I actually, the biggest screw up we ever had is we were switching phone carriers. Like we were switching our voice lines one time, and the phone carrier couldn't do whatever the cutover. They couldn't meet the cutover requirements, and they forgot to tell us. They didn't tell us that it wasn't happening. And so we had scheduled downtime for the entire business, and we had vendors on site to like help do the cutover and stuff. And then I'm calling them, and they're not calling me back. And then finally, like an hour later, I'm like, where the fuck are you guys at? And they're like, oh, that's not going on today. Sorry, did that email not get to you? Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. I thought I sent that out yesterday. Like, what? Jesus. Are you kidding me? I got to go explain this. Like, how? You know, like, oh my god, it was a bad day. You know, so I can only imagine what these Blizzard guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that last Path of Exile League launch, that was a total nightmare. So yeah, we'll still have to see how the next one goes, and you know, they say they learn from all these things, and like, oh, it won't happen again, and all that. But yeah, well, to see, I'm actually curious to see what Path of Exile is going to do. Period. I mean, Ultimatum for me, I went from being, you know, just the most addicted gamer of all time in Ritual to being like, I hate this in Ultimatum, which is just wild.
Yeah, it was a complete 180.
Yeah. Oh. So I'm hoping that, you know, we see maybe some more deterministic stuff like reintroduced, maybe with the next league mechanic, or like they scale back harvest nerfs or something to make the game more interesting. Because it was just, for me, it was just dead, this league. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it's, you know, it'll be it's interesting to see. Do you think some of it was fatigue from how much you played Ritual too?
I mean, it's definitely in the realm of possibility, plus like health and, you know, life stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of factors into it is like what's also going on personally, like you said, your health stuff, your, you know, the whole you know, the relationship status and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It might play a factor, you know, into how much fun, how much enjoyment you get out of it.
Sure. So, but you know, to be fair, like it happened during Ritual, and I still wanted to play a fuck ton of Ritual.
But maybe that's to play Ritual, you know, maybe you're just like, Jesus, I can't take it. Let me just go zone out.
Yeah, it's probably true. I probably
dodging some bullets, you know. So. But yeah, that was really the juice on the launches that we had upcoming.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet. You got, so we can jump into some Fluff 8s. And did they say anything else in the POE announcement other than this is a date? They don't have any kind of insight at all, did they?
No, I mean, it says, like any Path of Exile expansion, 3.15 contains a new challenge league, new rewards, game-wide balance changes, and more. The scope of 3.15 is a bit larger than Ultimatum.
Okay, so this is one of the bigger patches then.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Big patch, little patch.
Hell yeah.
Doing it up.
Excited.
Let's jump into some.
I love Path of Exile announcement days. Like, really. It's my most hype quarterly day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love it. Okay. I freak out. Even when I saw Ultimatum, I was like, oh my God. And then I played Ultimatum. I was like, damn.
Yeah, you came in. I remember you came in my stream. You're like, P, Ultimatum now, or some shit like that. And then you're gone. I was just like, oh, yeah, is that happening today?
Yeah.
I guess it's funny because I'm like, oh, that POE thing?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go watch it.
Casual. You know? Yeah, I know.
I'm like, what? I don't even know what they're talking about right now. So.
Well, do you have any PChild loves?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched this movie. Hold on. I have to look the name of it up because I thought it was super jacked. Oh man, what's the guy's name? Hold on, give me a second. Tell me about your hates while I pull this up because I the name slipped my memory. Okay, I got it. It's called Vivarium. Have you heard of this movie?
But Bavarium?
Vivarium. I
Vivarium.
think Vivarium. Vivarium.
Vivarium? Is it
Something
Vivarium?
like that. Yeah, it's got Jesse Eisenberg.
I like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, me too, man. I like Jesse. And so that's the only reason I watched it is because it had Jesse in it. And I'm like, all right, like I know nothing about this movie. So I put it on and I don't want to I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm not going to say much about it other than it's super crazy and I watched the whole fucking movie and at the end of it I was just like goddamn. Like it was I don't know, man. I liked it. It was interesting. It's not my normal realm of things I would like, but it was interesting. So
yeah,
you should if you get, you're bored, you have Amazon Prime, you want to check it out. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Then you could tell me if you like it or not.
Okay, so Fluff hates oh, dude. All right, let me tell you about this story, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I want to know your honest opinion about this, okay? So I was on one of those apps, right?
Okay. What are those apps, Fluff?
Like the apps where you meet members of the opposite sex.
Okay. All right.
Or same sex, if that's what you're into.
Or the same.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, tell me which one you're really on. Okay.
And there was a person that I matched with and like really into traveling, and that's really cool. And even to the point where, she was like sold her house and is just living out of her car, basically just driving from like city to city and just seeing stuff, right?
That's crazy, but okay.
I think it's crazy, but I think that's cool. Like I think that's respectable. It's adventurous. It's courageous.
Irresponsible, but okay, yeah.
Irresponsible? Why? Why would that be irresponsible?
No, because you don't have a house and you're living out of your car. Okay.
Why is that irresponsible?
Because you live in a car.
Whatever. We're obviously never going to see eye to eye on life objectives or goals. So I was like, cool, and so like matched with this person and chatting up for a while, and some of the really common questions you ask like other travelers is like, oh, okay, like where have you been? What's the coolest place you've ever been, right? Like what's the thing that stands out the most in your memory of travel?
She says Tulum.
And she goes, Alaska. And so I replied like, okay, cool, Alaska. Why Alaska? And she goes, well, if you have to ask, you've obviously never been lol. Does that rub you the wrong way? Or am I just being like...
No, I totally would have been like, okay, block. So have fun living in your car.
Just like, bitch. I was like, I'm a traveler. Like I'm a fucking traveler. Like how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Talk to me
obviously
like
you've never been lol.
Woo, that rubbed me the wrong way.
It's the lull that caps it off. Yeah, that would rub me the wrong way too. So did you continue a conversation or not?
No, it's like, okay. Like, I hate when people are like so pretentious about how they travel. Like, so say you're having a conversation, like you and I were talking about where'd you go last time you traveled? You went to,
I don't even remember either. The desert in California.
Yeah.
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. There you go. So say I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Palm Springs. That's amazing. Hey, did you do this while you were there? And you're like, oh no, I never heard of that. And like, oh, you didn't really experience Palm Springs then, bro. Like, it's just, I hate shit like that.
Yeah. Palm Springs was actually cool, man. It was fucking hot. Like it was different level.
Did you go hiking while you were there?
No. But
then you didn't experience Palm Springs,
do it.
bro.
I don't even know if there is hiking there because you would die, you would melt.
Of course there is.
But we did. We went to the places, man. We went to some of the surrounding like lakes and places that people said to go to. But you just didn't go outside during daylight hours because it was insane. Yeah. It was super awesome at nighttime though. Like it was perfect weather, perfect. I don't know. It was cool, dude. I loved it.
Yeah.
I would go back. I would actually go back there, and it was cheap too. Is the thing. Like it was cool and it was cheap because I guess it's not
a
super hot
dope
destination.
House. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a super dope house for like crazy rates, and it's like 2 hours from San Diego. So if you really want to hit up San Diego, like boom,
Yeah,
have fun.
I get it. But
So
yeah, man, that's just like I wanted to be like, bro, you know, all the places I've been, like I know Alaska's cool. Don't get me wrong, but like,
you guys ever been to Kansas City? You ever traveled to Kansas City? You know, like fuck. Let me tell you
Don't
about
come
Kansas
here.
City, man.
Do not come here.
Woo! There's some good looking ladies in Kansas City though. We were traveling around and went to the grocery store and
I
goddamn.
feel like you're being sarcastic right now.
I'm totally being sarcastic here. Yeah.
What's better than St. Louis at the end of the day?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Honestly,
a pretty,
I was hanging out with someone the other night, and they said that like Kansas City was like rated one of like the best or the worst places to date.
yeah.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Just chill. Based on a bunch of factors, not just like.
Okay. What are the factors?
Honestly, I think a big factor in something that I've experienced is like, I mean, people are fucking boring. Like people are like, they don't want to do anything. They don't have any aspirations to like see the world or like do anything cool. Or if they want to travel, it's just like they want to go to a resort and they want to go to a fucking cruise and just like lay on a beach or whatever. They don't want to do anything like actually.
You know
fucking
what's funny is my wife and kids, their favorite vacation was the resort in Mexico. And to me, that was the worst one, which is nutty. Like if I ask all of them, I'm like, what was your favorite? And they're like, dude, Mexico, everyone. And my wife included. And I'm like, really? That shit was lame as hell, dude.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Yeah. And we had this really nice all-inclusive resort. It was cool. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad time, but it wasn't as fun to me as like Palm Springs. Like I had more fun in Palm Springs, like traveling and just like driving up there and seeing the stuff there than being on the resort the whole time. Because I felt we didn't travel off the resort with kids, and being in Mexico, I was intimidated, to be honest with you. Like the cops
Puerto Vallarta is nice, man.
Dude, if you get off the resort, there was like cops.
Bro, you know how many times I've been to PV? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, cops are rocking around in trucks with turrets. That's fucking Mexico.
Yeah, man. And
that's
dirt
Mexico.
bikes with
it's
fucking
not because
AKs.
of Puerto Vallarta. It's fucking Mexico. That's just what cop cars look like in Mexico.
I know. And it's fine.
Puerto Vallarta's fine.
If it were me and my wife, I think it would be different. But when I had the kids and stuff too,
dude,
like I was like an uncle.
Ridiculous. It's fine.
No, man. Fine. I'm like, I'm chilling. I don't want the responsibility of trying to keep track of them the whole time and being nervous. You know, I'm like, we'll just stay in the resort.
You didn't like walk the Malecone or anything like that while you're out there? Golly.
No, I think the resorts were further outside of this because like when we drove in, it was a little bit of a distance to get to like what I would call like the touristy sales shop areas. You know, they were beachfront properties, but it was all like it was a little bit of a hike. So, and then the driver taking us back to the airport was like, "Oh, traffic's bad. We're gonna take a shortcut." Like, okay. And we were going through areas like there were like mansions with, I guess, fenced in areas, and they literally had guard posts like every half a block, and they had guards with machine guns in the fucking towers. I'm like, yo, this is some legit tower defense going on. What the fuck happens in Mexico where they gotta have dudes with AKs on towers? Like,
well, chances are, if you have dudes with AKs on towers, like you're probably sketch, and you're doing something sketch.
Inside the tower?
Yes.
Like inside the... Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, of course, you need the weird defense.
Like, I'm about to get sex trafficked is what I was thinking. I was like, yo, my whole family, we just became slaves.
No,
like,
the people in the tower doing something. Like, you're just a taxi in a taxi driving by. What are you scared of?
I know, but the taxi could have been like, I got a car full of Americans. Let's go. Like, take us in the thing. I don't know, dude. I've watched too many Taken movies, man.
I guess so. You're afraid of Puerto Vallarta. Shit, man. You should be worried in St. Louis. St. Louis is more dangerous than PV.
I mean, shit. They start driving around with trucks with turrets in the back.
They should in St. Louis.
Oh my God, this guy. No, it's a trip, dude. It was definitely a trip. It was fun though. I don't regret going. I think it would be cool. The worst part of that whole trip was switching the international transfer, like that happens in Atlanta when you fly out from Mexico. God damn, that was such a pain in the ass. to go through and like. I don't even know if it's worse now with the COVID shit. But you get off the plane, you got to recheck your luggage, and then they like face scan you, did some stuff, and then you had to talk to the customs guy. The customs guy I had was a complete ass. He's like, "Where are you coming from? What's in your bag? Let me see."
Yeah.
Like super, super, like looking like I was up to something. I'm like, "Come on, bud."
Yeah. I had that happen to me like when I was coming back from Costa Rica. I just had my backpack, like a tiny backpack. And they noticed I just like walked through the checked area. And they're like, "You don't have a bag?" I was like, "No." It's like, "Where are you coming from?" I was like, "Costa." And as soon as I was saying like Costa Rica, she's like, "Where are you coming from?" And she's like, "Go that way."
Yeah, this dude was a total ass. Like he was cool, like cool to my kid, cool to my wife, and then it came to me, and he was like, something about me triggered him. He was just like a complete ass.
The hair, probably.
Yeah, it must have been. I don't even know if I had hair back then.
The corn rolls, yeah.
The corn rolls, the rolls, Rose. Fluff.
No, I know.
Rose. All right, I'm done messing with you. Let's jump into some Twitter questions, man.
Do it.
All right, so Kaviticus asked a question, but it's more like a book. I'm going to read this one time just for you, Kaviticus. He says, "Let's get one thing straight. Bacon is definitely better, and I'll explain why."
Oh, that's why you read it out?
Yeah. He says, "The comparison of the two is illogical. You can't claim sausage and have all of the sausage. Bacon isn't a category, it's an item. Sausage is a category. If you're going to pick sausage, you have to pick a single type of sausage and stick with it. Can't argue sausage is better because it can be any type. That's not a valid comparison to bacon. If you were to choose a single type of sausage and compare it to bacon, the food you could eat forever, you would definitely pick bacon every time."
He's literally arguing what I always argue, but in the other side.
Okay, so listen. So we're almost there.
Okay.
It's exactly the same as asking if you'd rather eat sandwiches or bacon for the rest of your life. Of course, you'd pick sandwiches because you could put anything on a sandwich, including bacon. Therefore, presented with these indisputable facts, I'd like to know if Lord Fluffy would still pick sausage if he could only choose one type of sausage. If so, what sausage would he choose to eat forever, and why is his choice bacon?
He's literally arguing what I always argue. If you ever pick bacon, your brain is so small because the question is sausage or bacon.
Yeah, so he's changed it. He says a type of sausage.
I know, I get it, and I will answer that, but I want him to know that he's wrong because
I just want to hear you say bacon.
The question itself is fucking sausage or bacon. It's not like, oh, the argument is invalid, and he's only supporting my argument that anyone that picks bacon is a total idiot because there's so many different types of sausage, and there's so much, like so many different genres of sausage, and you pick fucking bacon, which is just bacon. You're literally just picking bacon over all these wonderful sausages.
Are you picking bacon then? Is that the answer?
No. Okay, so if I had to pick one sausage
or bacon,
no, of course I'm going to pick one type of sausage. Sausage is still better.
Just because you have to.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay,
I think bacon is great, but I think bacon is extremely salty, and when I eat bacon, I generally feel like groggy because it is very greasy. It is very like kind of gross at the end of the day. Like it just feels it feels like I'm eating a heart attack is what it feels like. It's like having a really fat juicy cheeseburger or something. Like the grease is
even keto bacon still makes you have.
Yeah, I mean, when you keto bacon, bacon is keto. Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
no, I don't ever eat bacon. I don't ever go out of my way to eat. If bacon's in front of me, like it's at a breakfast or something, like I'll eat some, but it's got to be with some like eggs. I could never just take like slices of bacon and just sit there and eat bacon. No fucking way.
Dude, I eat bacon on the weekly. That's the thing.
Right, but I guess like I got bratwurst probably.
Oh.
Bro, you were all over those cheddar jalapeno bratwursts that we made.
Those were good. I gotta agree. Those were good, but not just those forever. I'd rather take like just some sausage patties or something. You know what I mean?
Like breakfast sausage patties or something?
Yeah, breakfast sausage.
Even breakfast sausage is a little on the salty side for me. But
you can do some really good things with breakfast sausage. You can put a little cheese on top. So good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Did you get yourself some of those keto breakfast things that
I looked at the store. I couldn't find them. They didn't have. Did you buy those at the store?
It was Costco.
Those egg sandwiches. That was a Costco thing. Okay, yeah. I looked at the local grocery and they didn't have anything. So, but I did. I was like specifically like, okay, where are those sandwiches? That shit was good.
Yeah.
So, nope. We'll keep looking. All right. So Question 2 comes from Rank 1 Civ 5 Assyria main. He says, first, PChild, when are you going to farm a mirror in PoE? Never, I'm assuming. Probably never.
I mean,
right?
I've never got a mirror, so.
So, yeah, I'm going to say never.
He's a filthy
And
casual.
second, what set in D3 would you guys play if they were all equal in power?
Pestilence.
Pestilence? Really?
Mm-hmm. If they're all equal in power, like Pestilence is still to me the most fun set to speed farm with. And so I'd have like a juicy speed farm Pestilence set, and then
I was looking at this in terms of power, like as in push potential. Yeah, because it's so if they're all equal in power, my answer would be a variety, because I think variety is.
We can't do that. You have to pick one.
No.
What?
So like
you can't say, oh, I would like to play them all if they're equal.
I would play them. I would play all if they were equal, because I'd have my T16.
Well, yeah, of course you would want to, but you still have to pick one.
It depends on how they redesigned them too. In their current state, they're in right now.
No redesigns. Yeah.
The current state that they're in right now, they're just equal power. Oh man, what's just super crazy fun?
Uliana
would be cool if it depends, because in the current state you'd have to mix it with the fists. And
what if it's just Uliana?
That's kind of buggy. Just Uliana in general, maybe. I also would Natalia's maybe could be fun. I don't know. I think Natalia's might not be too bad. Yeah, dude. I think Natalia's could be a good play. I think that Natalia's would be my choice. And then Demon Hunter also has so many other sets that you could potentially mix into and play with, but definitely not Marauders or I hate the Sentry. So yeah, I would go with Natalia. A close second though would probably I really do like the Justice Monk. I think that it's got so much potential if they could fix. So like I've suggested fixes for Justice Monk so many times. You can't let off the channel without it dropping your stacks. And if they would put that on a 1.5 second cooldown or a 2 second cooldown, to where the explosion happens 2 seconds after you let go, then you could open doors and you could click pylons and still channel again before the stacks fall off to not lose your stacks. And I think that could potentially fix the bug where you change directions really fast and it gets stacks dropped off, or teleporting or wormholes that drop your stacks as well. That one little change I think could fix that set and that'd be a pretty fun set to play, I think. But yeah, Natalia's.
So you're a monk
do you have a second? Yeah. Well, no. Well, that'd be monk.
I think old school Natalia is a really solid choice. I think that was one of my favorite sets of all time in D3.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was fun for sure. Did you have, so that's your second would be Natalia?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably I'm with you for the speed farming with Pestilence. I like it for speed farming, but pushing, I don't know if I liked it as much in pushing.
Yeah, cooldown. So it's acquired taste.
Yeah. Waiting for cooldowns and then like dying and just waiting for cooldowns dead. Yeah, it just feels bad.
It is different though. Like I'll always give it that. Like Cold Lancer is one of the more unique push builds in D3.
And there's some skill involved in it too. Like you're getting your, lining your shots up, not getting the trash position where you want it, killing a couple things. There's definitely some skill to it.
Yeah.
Dirt Nap says, would you date someone with zero relationship experience? Their excuse is that they just never found someone they were into. So I guess you meet a girl on this app and she's like, I've never been in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Ever. And she's 40?
Yeah, I mean, good for you. You held out for someone that was like just right for you. Why not?
What if she had the V card? Look at this. He's instantly like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that's a lot. And then
why?
Because there's so much to unpack from that, right? Because one, the pressure of being somebody's first, and then like, what if you guys don't work out? And it's like, goddamn, you just feel like guilty. Two is like, I don't know, we don't want to like be that person to like
if you're not into him afterwards,
the ropes, in that department, the awkwardness of
I'm with you. I would agree. I've But then you're kind of an asshole if you're like, I can't date you because you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
I've been in that predicament before.
Yeah.
I've opted out because I was like, I'm not after the same things you're after, and I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know? So I think I took the high road.
But honestly, so here's the thing, right? So like, I just know, like when I meet somebody, I know, right? Like, and if I felt those sparks for someone, I'm not sure there's a lot, they could tell me that would like distract me from like how I felt or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, Lindsay and I she surprised me with a bunch of stuff early on too. And yeah, it's fine because like I was just so, in love and all that stuff. It didn't, just stuff like that doesn't matter. I don't know. So maybe it wouldn't be a big deal. But like if someone that was like, I've met on an app and I like went out with once and I like wasn't really feeling it. And then she's like, oh yeah, I'm a virgin. I'd be like, oh no, like I'm not the guy, right? Like I know that we're not right. So I'm not going to take that from you.
I'm with you. That's the high road, I think, though, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. A Spectro says, have you ever had a, I don't know, I never thought I'd get this far moment? You ever been like, shit, I don't know what to do, man. I never thought I'd get this far.
Like, in what aspect of life? Anything?
That's it. That's the whole question. That's all they wrote. So I don't know.
I mean, I've definitely had that, like on trips and stuff. I was like, wow, I didn't really expect it. Like the White Rim Trail, I didn't really go into it knowing that I'd be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. I never thought. I don't. I mean, I had a I don't know moment last week when we were eating those fucking death nuts, man. Yeah. I say I don't know. I never thought I would have this feeling. Like I expected burn. I expected pain. I did not expect shutdown of my body. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know it was possible, and that's ignorance on my part for not researching what can happen, because apparently that's like a common symptom from this that I didn't know. I didn't do research. So
yeah, there was a few YouTube comments that flamed us for like not doing our due diligence first.
I trusted you. Fluff's like, yo, buy this, we're gonna do it on the pod. I was like, all right, let's do it.
I mean, you should have known, because like I'm me. So like, I'm gonna be like, extreme. I'm down. I'm down to do whatever, right?
I am too, man. Like I did it. I tried the thing. It's just when I legitimately thought I could die, I'm like, I'm gonna stop, because it's not a pain. Like I legitimately thought I could die. I'm like, I might die from this. I really thought like I'm breathing okay, but everything else in my body is fucked. Like I can't see. My vision's blurry. I can't control my hands. I can't move my mouth. I can't talk. It's like, so as long as I'm breathing, I'm good, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Imagine not making it to round 5. It's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine like living to do another podcast. It's fucking nutty.
Imagine voting that Fluff.
What if I would have done round 5 and died though? Like in your apartment. Like what would you do right now? Like right now, would you have done the podcast without me dead?
Of course. The show must go on.
Oh man, what a dick, guys.
Yeah.
Listen.
I just get some, Riker's new co-host, right?
Riker, you want to drive to KC and we'll eat some death nuts?
Yeah, that would be there's auditions for the new Meta podcast, new co-host. You got to be able to do round 5.
Got to do round 5. No tapping. I don't know, man. As far as the legit, like I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far. I don't know. I can't. Nothing really jumps to mind. I'm sure I'll think of something later on. But I can't say that I've had too many.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just gonna skip. You got anything else to comment on that, or?
I mean, I'm sure that's probably happened many times. I remember there was a very small break between my girlfriend before Lindsay and Lindsay, and I did not expect to be be in that boat again. Because after my ex before Lindsay was like, fuck dating, like fuck having girlfriends.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. I don't want anything to do with this shit anymore. I'm gonna be alone forever. And then all of a sudden, I was like hanging out with Lindsay all the time. I was like, I didn't expect it to go this far.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know how you got a key to the place, but you have one suddenly.
Yeah. I mean, we moved in super quick together. That was crazy.
Yeah. That is nutty. There's kind of a moment that it's just like, at least with my wife, it was like she hadn't gone home in like 4 months. Right. it was like, we dated, and like, over the course of time, it's just she would come stay a night, and then stayed 2 nights, and then it was the weekend, and then it was like, the week, and then eventually it was like, have you even gone home in like a couple months? And she's like, not really. And I'm like, why are we still paying for your place then? It doesn't,
Yeah.
like, let's just get a place.
Sure.
So, I guess that was my never thought I'd get this far moment.
Sure.
Jordy says, what's the worst thing you would wish on your worst enemy? I'd make them do the Death Nut Challenge every day. Their entire life. I don't know,
man.
I don't have any enemies for real. Like I had some enemies like back in high school and shit. That I still might hold a vendetta against. I haven't seen them in 20, 30 years, but if I bumped into them, I'd still be like, or if I could wish ill things, I probably would be like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's only been a few people in my life that I've been like, ugh. One was like my old best friend's ex-girlfriend. She was literally the Antichrist. So I wish her the worst. And then my brother's ex-wife turned out to be just vile as well. As awful as my brother was to her, she was awful too.
So you would wish ill things on your brother's ex-wife?
I would. At this point, yeah.
Damn.
I was so nice to her. I was so nice to her.
She must have did some ill shit. Dude.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the worst thing you'd wish on her?
To go through that marriage again.
Oh, damn.
The worst thing you could wish on someone.
Okay.
To be married to my brother. I'm kidding.
Damn. Some shade at your bro.
He gets it.
Frisk Play says, what's the worst AAA video game you've ever played?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Easy.
Are you serious?
Easy.
Dude, no.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way. There's got to be something worse. Let's think about this for a second.
I've thought about it 1,000 times. It still haunts me that I even spent time on that game.
No. I can't wait for the second one to come out, man. I'm going to play shit out of it.
Are you going to play the Yuffies?
Yeah, dude. That comes out 2 days, doesn't it? I forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. I don't know. We'll see. I'll definitely play it. I don't know if I'm going to play it right at release because I'm going hard on WoW right now, but definitely interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk had the biggest hype build up of any game I've ever seen in my life. And I was on board, and I even said, like, there's no way it's going to live up to the expectations, but it fell flat pretty bad. It wasn't even close. I don't say it's the worst, though. I think the game has some.
Yeah, you can't say that was your worst AAA.
It's the worst. I think it's the biggest
disappointment.
Sure.
That's not the same question, though. What's the worst?
The worst. Man.
You play a lot. You're the okayest variety streamer right now. Surely you have.
I know. I've played a lot of games. I try to think of like Resident Evil. I don't like the Resident Evil games that much, man. People love that shit, and I don't think they're that good personally. I'm trying to. Okay, is this the Age of Conan? Does that count? It was supposed to be a WoW killer MMO that came out in like 2007-ish. It was big at the time. I think. I don't know how much money. I think it was called Age of Conan. I'm googling in it real quick just to make sure that's the right game I'm thinking of. Yeah, it came out in May of 2008. Developed by Funcom. So I don't know how much budget they had into it, but that game was so crap. I played it for like 2 hours and then I uninstalled it. Literally just done. Never played it again. So. Yeah, probably the worst game I've ever played. I think they've rebooted it a couple times since then.
I remember like
But
what was it? The original Lord of the Rings MMO. I remember that being just terrible when it came out.
yeah, that was pretty bad too. Yeah. I played the
Wilson.
Star Wars MMO when that came out too. Wilson, oh my god.
No, I actually wouldn't rate Wilson like
No,
the
Wilson
worst.
wasn't the worst.
No,
No,
I
no.
had fun.
I got
with Wilson.
enjoyment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't AAA. Yeah,
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Conan. I don't know if that counts as AAA.
Anthem?
That was
Question mark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. I forgot about Anthem. Yeah. Yeah, Anthem takes a cake. I agree with that. Anthem was so bad that I didn't even make it to max level. I think I was like level 12 or something. I quit. It was pretty bad. So good call there. Yeah, I'm looking at my games list real quick to see. What was the biggest? I'll flip the script. Like that was the last question that we had, but I'm gonna flip it. What was one of the biggest surprise games you've ever played? You played it and you're like, oh my god, this is so good.
Hades.
80s.
100%.
Okay. I've heard good things about
Hades. I did not go into Hades expecting to like it at all. And
would you still play it? You still fire it up now?
I mean, honestly, I think Hades would be literally the perfect game for the Switch to like have like with you on a flight and stuff like that. I think that would be a really good game for that.
I would say a game that I wasn't really expecting to be as good as it was. I really like Jedi Fallen Order. I think that game was really fun. And I guess I'll give that one the nod. Like I expected it to be okay, but I didn't hear much about it. Hype building up to it, and then it came out, and I was like, oh, let's try it out.
Weren't you were super obsessed with that zombie game you were playing recently?
Oh yeah, that was super. Yeah, not Last of Us. Days Gone. Days Gone was phenomenal, man. That was again. I agree with that because it got shitty reviews and it was phenomenal. Good game. So, yep. That's it, dude. Kind of a shorter pod.
Nice and short. I got so much to do, so that works out perfect.
Yep.
I leave it at 4:30 tomorrow. I have so much to do. I forgot to take my trash
Gotta get
out,
back.
so I have to like find a dumpster, but I don't have a car right now because my car's in the shop because it got vandalized.
Oh, brilliant. So they're going to have it for the next 2 weeks while you're gone, fixing it up?
Yeah.
Well, you got the bike, right? Just strap the trash on the back.
Strap the trash on the bike.
It's trash bike. Oh, my God. All right, man. Well, thanks for the pods. I'll see you again in 2 weeks.
3 weeks. Technically.
Three? So, okay. So when's our next pod? It's going to be the 29th?
Correct.
Okay.
2 weeks off, boys.
The 29th for the next New Meta, episode 152. We'll just say that Fluff died from the Death Nut Challenge for the next 2. That's what I'm going to tell people. They're going to be like, yo, where's Fluff been at? I'm like, oh, he died from the Death Nut Challenge.
Yep.
You know? So PTR, I'm sure will hit while you're gone.
Yeah, probably true.
So make sure you play lots of it.
We'll get the patch notes like next week, and I can catch the tail end of like a 2-week PTR. After because round 1 of PTR, let's be real, right?
Yeah.
That's never how it's actually going to be. So
true. All right, man. I will catch you in 3 weeks.
Hell yeah. Peace out, dudes.
Peace.